Hey everybody, welcome to Fragments of Him. Yeah, this game is finally out. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. I actually contacted the developers back in, I think, June or July of last year, but I'd heard of it before that even. I think I first saw it back in November of 2014, but it's finally out. It's on Steam right now. It is $19.99, but it's on sale for $17.99. The devs were kind enough to give me a key, so thank you so much. So the store page says, after the death of Will, those left behind learn to cope with the loss. The interactive narrative is played in a detached first-person view, as if you were the subconscious mind guiding the characters. Fragments of Him is a drama dealing with real emotions that all of us will have to face someday. So yeah, I'm sure the subject matter is going to make me cry my fucking eyes out. That's another reason why I don't have face cam on. Yeah, so let's do it. So I didn't really start a game. I just like loaded up to make sure like it played. So let's just say continue. It's just like the first part. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Alright, yeah, so this is where the game dumps you in at. So don't worry, I didn't miss anything. Okay, so we have like a... Oh, hey, buddy. Okay. I like your jacket. Anything else out here in this limbo void? What the fuck is a limbo void? Okay, I love you. Have a good day. Bye, Harry. See you tonight. Say nothing.
I love you. Have a good day.
Aw.
This life's been kind to me, and I've got to change. To stop taking it for granted.
What's out here? I like the way this game looks.
I need to take the time to look at what's right in front of me.
Like, it's not trying to be, like, hyper-realistic. So is that Will? Is that the guy that dies? What are you doing, lady? So it's kind of, like, the stylings kind of remind me of...
I've got to get out of the habit of ignoring the small miracles in life. I only seem to pay attention when something is wrong, not when it's right.
Oh, so it's like an invisible wall not letting me go up? Yep, okay. That's actually kind of a clever way to do it. The graphic stylings kind of remind me of that Dragon Cancer, just, like, more detailed.
Even an elevator is a minor miracle. Someone invented this.
Yes, that's how inventions work. So are you Will?
I know consciously that there was a time when this technology didn't exist.
Elevators have actually been around for a long time.
It's just so hard to see beyond the present.
I agree with that, yes. Who are you? How do you get your skin so smooth?
I'm going to change things.
Do you drive a Prius? What kind of car is this? Oh, and obviously with your accent, of course the steering wheel will be on the opposite side of than what I'm used to. Filthy Americans. So yeah, I want to know who I am.
I don't want to lose what we've got to by not paying attention to it.
Oh.
Hmm.
Don't worry, you're looking fresh as fuck. Oh yeah, put your
Some
seatbelt
routine
on,
is
buddy.
good, sure. Other patterns, they're just habits with no meaning.
Doesn't look like it's all the way down. Oh, we're going. You totally just hit that car. Will, you drunk? It's kind of awesome. Like, I think it's kind of hard for games to pull off like an in-seat like driving section. I don't see many games that do this like without it looking weird as shit. I'm just waiting for something to happen. I love the way this looks.
I should have paid more attention to the small stuff, not locked on to avoiding everything that matters.
Look both ways before you go. Good.
I've let myself lose track of what I want after everything we've been through.
So I'm guessing love life is having a
I'll
little
tell
bit
him
of
tonight.
a rocky road. A little bit of a rough patch. But you're willing to patch things up, so that's good.
I love that cafe. On warm evenings, sometimes I sit there with a glass of wine, waiting to catch Harry on his way back from work.
So is Harry the husband? Oh yes, this is a gay love story, by the way. That's another reason why I think I might cry my eyes out.
Maybe we'll go feed the ducks this weekend. I love the way they walk.
So do I. They're cute, little waddles. I'm also really enjoying the classical music. I'm just waiting for like a truck or something to hit us. Like something has to... I don't know, I'm like so paranoid right now.
I'm happy with him. I have to be sure he knows that.
Oh. I've actually had those same feelings with Max. There it is. Ugh, turn that shit off.
Patterns. The same start again. The same alarm tone that Harry can sleep through. I think of these routines as optimized living, like they allow me time to focus on other things. But I've not been doing that.
So it seems like they're falling into like the monotony of monogamy. Looks like pigs in a blanket. That's where I keep my pastries as well.
Harry likes me in this t-shirt.
Aww.
Great stories trapped in a moment. They're brilliant, but maybe I should add some new ones.
Let's see, can I... We got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That's nice. Will you get the fuck out of the way, please? I know you're dead, but come on. Huh, so right click actually backs up. Left click will move me forward. Interesting. The Great Gatsby. I can't read some of these because the text gets a little, like, jumbly. The Dice Man, Charlotte's Web. These are all like books you read when you're in high school.
I love this painting. And I can't remember the last time I really looked at it.
Anything outside you can look at? How about him? Come on, man.
These daily things, they're good, but weigh us down too. I've got to a good place in life, but I feel like I'm not taking it further. I feel like I should try to break patterns. I usually use the bathroom first.
Okay, so instead, let's... what can we do instead of going to the bathroom first? Let's go to the kitchen. This is a nice
Every
kitchen.
change helps. Tea. A man takes the lead, Grandma would tell me. I guess I need to step up to the line. I've got a great thing here.
Okay, so where do you keep your tea bags? This is a nice little kitchen for an apartment, except this awkward empty space right here. That's odd.
I don't think she meant this, but she's right. I should take the lead. I should ask Harry to marry me. I want to be his husband.
Oh, I can already hear like homophobic shit in my head. Like, oh, so you're the man in the relationship. Now that shit fucking works. God.
Will Grandma come to the wedding? I think she will. Maybe.
So Granny isn't down with the two weens in the relationship. I know that feeling. Hell yeah.
Naturally, as Will's grandmother, I visited Will in hospital on the first day that he was born. James, Will's father, handed him to me, wrapped in a little blue blanket. I'll never forget that moment. He was such a handsome baby. James ran 3 London pubs in the 1980s, of that punk sort. He looked awful with that leather jacket and those sort of things. That's not the sort of thing for children. So I would babysit as often as possible to make sure he had someone normal in his life.
So can I turn that radio off? As much as I like it.
There was always music playing when I got to the house. Some awful racket. Not the sort of thing a child should be hearing. I
so she's one of those...
turned it off.
She's one of those grannies. Like the hyperprotective, conservative kind. Gotcha.
That plant was about all Will saw of the outside when he was young. He preferred to make up stories rather than play outdoors. Sharon had some problems with the birth, so Will was an only child growing up. He played by himself a lot.
Oh.
Sharon, Will's mother, met my James when he was working in London. She's American. They broke up for 3 years, and she took Will to America with her.
Huh.
The magazines that Sharon read were full of paintings. I'm not sure they were very suitable for a young boy to be around, but I don't like to judge.
Yes, you do. Don't lie. You love it. That's all you're doing so far. God.
James liked such strange books, full of horrible things. I remember him telling me about one with rats everywhere. I really don't see the appeal. I loved Will. I always just wanted him to have the best possible start and to be successful. I suppose I sound awful, saying his parents were doing everything wrong.
Oh. So, yeah, we got the rats. Yeah. The female something? Female eunuch? Is that what that says? We got the fog, shrine, the spear, color purple. We almost saw that in New York. Let's see, what else can I click on?
I remember that evening. Will had been quieter than usual.
Oh.
He had been in a fight at school. A boy had been calling a dark-skinned girl names.
Uh-oh.
Will was punched in the stomach when he tried to get the boy to stop. I asked him if he had cried, and he said yes. I told him that big boys don't cry. I remember him asking me then, what do big boys do when they're sad? I told him that when he grew up, he would be a good man, able to stand up for others. I suppose I didn't answer his question. I told him that he was right to try to stop the bully. Looking back, I don't think he seemed very comforted.
Oh.
When he was going to bed, Will tripped on a toy.
What'd you do about it, huh? Tell him to man the fuck up?
I remember carrying him. He was trying so hard not to cry.
Oh, come on, man.
He was so small in my arms. I've never forgotten that feeling.
Oh. Little buddy, it's okay to cry. So I
I
guess now
have
we're...
so many little memories making up our lives together. It's odd what sticks with you, though.
God, I love the way this looks. I'm just like completely like enthralled by this. Dinosaurs. So what kind of books do you got? Let's see. Mysterious World, Charlotte's Web, Haunted House, Exploring my... Ugh. The Secret Seven, Sinister Signpost.
I took him to bed to read him a story.
So I guess we're gonna be jumping through like periods of his life. People just like remembering Will.
He went through a phase of being scared of ghosts. Sharon would buy him ghost storybooks, and he had that pop-up haunted house book too. I had to check the room for ghosts before he would sleep.
Aw, that's actually really sweet of her.
I made sure he could see me looking carefully.
Oh.
I remember that night clearly. I remember promising him that I would always protect him, no matter whatever happened. Of course, he was thinking of ghosts still, but maybe I knew then that his life wasn't going to be so easy.
Huh. So did you already have a sneaking suspicion?
I've been reading him Grimm's fairy tales. I didn't like all the updated nonsense they'd been putting into stories back then. There was a short, very strange story that night called The Ungrateful Son. It went something like this.
Do I get to play it?
Once upon a time, a man and his wife were eating a roast chicken for dinner.
This is awesome.
When the man saw his father, a very old man, walking along the road towards them,
This is really cool. I like that they're doing this.
the man didn't want to share, and so he hid the chicken out of sight.
Well, that's
His
rude.
father came, bid them a good day, and went on his way.
That's super rude.
The man was very happy and so told his wife to put the chicken on the table again. But the chicken had transformed into a giant toad, which leapt onto the face of the man.
That's called a face hugger.
The toad would never leave, and when his wife wanted to help, she was so afraid of it that she dared not go near. The man had to feed the toad every day from then on, or it would bite his face, and he never rested for the remainder of his life.
Wow.
Like I say, it was a very strange story.
That's awesome.
Will was asleep before I finished it, which was probably a good thing.
Oh, good night, little dude. Turn out all your lamps.
It left me in an odd mood. I wondered how long I would be able to keep him safe. I didn't know where life was going to take him. I was his grandmother, and I hoped I would help him be a good man.
Aw.
I could still see him sleeping there now, like it was only yesterday.
So these are obviously like stories that are being recanted after Will's died.
I had raised James, so I thought I would be ready for anything from my grandson Will. But I wasn't daft enough to think that it would be easy. The world changes so fast.
So is this Granny's house? I assume it is. There's Will.
I remember the family visiting me when Will was a teenager. Do you know Al Martino's Here in My Heart? He had such a lovely voice. It was playing when Robert first kissed me. Robert would hum it to me sometimes.
Which I'm assuming is her husband.
My husband Robert was a writer. Sadly, he died before Will really knew him. He could have gone far if he'd applied himself a bit more.
What does it say? Diana's. Ooh. Princess Diana stepping out, eh?
I liked to go down to Brighton, to the seaside, and I would buy a new glass animal every time I went there, collecting them. Everyone should have a hobby, I think. I went to visit family in New Zealand after James left home. It was a very long trip. I could only make it once. It's such a shame to be so distant from family.
I never like really, I don't know, like that's never been my case. Like, I never like put much, this is gonna sound awful, I never like put much stock in family.
It was only a matter of time back then before Diana divorced Charles. She'd done that interview, and we all knew it was coming.
That was a big deal. Because, like, she was like the people's princess, and he was like an actual prince. It's like, it was like a big deal that like she would leave him.
People seem to believe that all us old folk want to talk about is the weather. So I started the conversation.
I think it's sad. She was bullied into all of this from the beginning.
I could have handled the rest of the conversation better. I lost my temper a bit.
I'm assuming she was like an uptight granny about it.
Sharon sat there, not saying anything, which was worse than her joining in, but I could imagine her American take on the whole thing.
Yep.
James didn't help. He has always been so obtuse in his views.
Yep.
I wish I'd never even started the conversation. They didn't want to hear my opinion. "Excuse me, I'm going to make some tea," I said. No one offered to help.
Well, yeah, because you're being a jerk. You live in a nice little flat. I like it. Can I sneak off in here? Oh, I can't.
I didn't really want tea. I don't think they wanted it either. But I needed to do something. I suppose all this seems like a strange thing to remember. But it was a sad day for me. James and Sharon were both adults. But Will... If you go against society, you always end up in trouble. I didn't have any choice in my time, but I had a quiet life. It was good enough.
Oh. That's
These
a terrible
days
way to
it's
think about
easier
it.
to be different, to forge your own path or something like that, and everyone else be damned. I was scared for him. He had all these views about things, and it was dangerous. Will was only at the start of his life, but those years are so important. I wanted him to keep his head down, not start arguments.
It seems like a very British thing. Like, just, don't
I
make
waited,
waves.
letting the tea brew.
Like, back in the old days, that is. Like, from her
And I
generation.
found myself crying, standing in the kitchen like a silly old what's-it. He was going to go off with views like that and get in trouble, and I couldn't do a thing. I knew something had been broken that day between Will and I.
Oh.
I took a deep breath and pulled myself together. It's not the done thing to let others see you get upset.
Oh, Granny. Not that bad.
Robert passed away soon after Will was born. I've lived alone since then. It felt tolerable being by myself, until that new distance. It's a terrible thing, to feel detached from your own family.
Oh. My grandmother was kind of the same way. Like a man should be a man, that kind of thing, and like you have to be stoic and you don't share your feelings and you don't like cause waves. So like I don't know, I think she always knew that I was gay. And so like she was kind of just like saw it as like a weakness almost.
My
It was very
generation has
interesting.
different values. Oh, goodness, I know that. But I very much believe that they are good. I wasn't prepared to accept that Will wasn't going to talk to me anymore. You can't accept it, really, when you see someone you love putting their future at risk. Those
just...
views, liberalism and such like, I knew he would change his mind as he got older.
Oh God, Granny, stop.
But before he changed, what damage would he do to his options?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's what I'm curious about. It's like, what's she so afraid of that he's going to do by having these opinions?
Will went off to university, but I clearly remember the Christmas that he and the family came home. I try to keep in touch with friends. Of course, there was no email or that sort of thing back then. There's nothing like a real letter now, though.
This place is looking lovely. Kind of scares me when you get up on that thing, though.
I felt uneasy about that Christmas. We would be together all day.
Oh, and you're worried that
It's
shit's
a
gonna
lot
come
of
up
work
again?
making a house look welcoming, but it was good to be busy.
God, that sound scares me. Granny, stop. There you go. This looks lovely. Yeah. Now get down from there. Don't hurt yourself.
I wanted the house to look perfect. Will was going to bring a girlfriend, Sarah, and I wanted her to get the right impression.
There's Will. I'm assuming you're Sarah. You don't last long, don't worry.
My family arrived just as the Christmas lunch was ready. It was perfect timing.
Oh, hi. Is there anything in here? No? Okay.
James is like his father, really. A wonderful boy. But I do wish he would apply himself more.
Is he still in the pubs? Because that's pretty good.
I mentioned that Sharon took Will away for 3 years to America once, didn't I? Yes, I think I did. He was only 10. I missed so many important years.
When he moved to America, is that when he came down with the case of the gay?
Sarah seemed a little shy, but she was lovely. She told us about her university courses and was thoroughly charming. I hadn't seen Will since he left. I wanted him to understand I wanted the best for him. I always wanted that, no matter if he disagreed with me. Will was a perfect gentleman.
That cutting sound is kind of gross. Do you think any clip? Okay, just had to wait. I'm too impatient.
He had such fine manners.
Thanks.
Oh, so now they're devouring all the food. This is so charming. I actually feel like kind of warm and cozy right now. Like, I talk about this in A Long Dark, but like anytime a game can like make me feel something, other than like the hot, sweaty asshole that is Texas, then like I give it 2 thumbs up. Like right now I feel like warm and cozy. I'm not even that big of a Christmas person.
It filled me with pride and hope to see him that day. He was becoming the man I had hoped he would be. Sarah seemed like such a lovely match for him. He would have a happy, normal life.
Well, about that, Granny. How do I click on you? There we go.
But that was the last time I saw her.
So, I'm guessing she wasn't too fond of Harry then. Uh-oh.
The next summer, I went to visit Will at university.
Uh-oh.
It's only civil to arrive on time for your appointments, so I started the drive down to see him with plenty of time to spare.
Okay, so I know I've said it 1,000 times so far, but like I really enjoy this graphical styling.
I ended up being rather early, and it was my first visit to the campus, so I went for a walk. The old buildings there are lovely. So
Like you're
many
gonna see
excited
something.
young people about the place, and such beautiful girls, all full of pep. I was also hoping I might see Sarah again. Going to university wasn't normal in my day like it is now. I never had the chance to go and improve myself. I noticed Will from a distance.
Uh-oh.
I've always thought he stood out in a crowd. At first, I couldn't see what he was doing.
Granny shouldn't see this. You're gonna get upset.
Then I saw that he was holding hands with a man.
Aw. Sup, gays?
And then, right out in front of everyone, they kissed.
Scandalous.
He went and did that after everything I had tried to teach him. I knew that all those liberal views would get him in trouble.
Oh, you.
I left
Yep.
right away.
Get out of the way.
I couldn't think of a single thing I could say to him.
So yeah,
Will
so
didn't
she's...
see me. What was I supposed to do? Act like everything was going to be okay for him?
So I wonder, like, if she has, like, a thing against gay people, or if she's just worried about, like, his life, like, his prospects.
He was so young to be doing that kind of thing, with his whole life ahead.
Yep.
The university suddenly seemed like an ugly place to me. All that entitlement and sense of smugness.
Oh, Granny, come on.
All those petty children doing whatever they wanted, ignoring the responsibility of the freedoms my generation got for them. I wanted to be civil, but I was so angry with him, with them all. He was putting himself in danger.
So, like, what's he supposed to do? Just, like... I'm confused what you want him to do.
That sort of thing. It all just feels wrong to me. Sorry, but that's just the way I feel about this.
Like, that... I've heard that viewpoint before. Mostly, like, from, you know, people that I actually know in real life. Back where I grew up. I just never understood it. At all. It's like, what are you supposed to do if you're
I barely saw
not
Will
yourself?
for the next few years. I couldn't bring myself to talk to him. It was silly of me, I suppose.
Like, what, so, to her, like, what would make her happy? To, like, him, like, not be his true self? Like, maintain the status quo, I suppose? Like...
After university, he went travelling, seeing the world. I stayed at my house.
Oh, she's, like, bitter. She's, like, kind of resentful. Like, would she rather him, like, be unhappy, but with Sarah, than happy and with Harry?
I said that my husband Robert had died when Will was young, didn't I? It's sometimes hard not to live in the past when you have so much time to yourself.
Aw, just gonna sit in your back garden and reminisce. This is a cute little back garden. They don't call it backyard, right? They call it gardens.
He was such a happy, playful boy. and then he changed. I don't know if he knew how much I loved him when he was growing up. I had all these hopes for who Will would be when he was a grown man. But life goes on. I was working in the garden. Things go wild if you leave them too long.
So she's taking this like very personally, which I find very interesting. Like, that's an interesting concept to me, because it's like him becoming the person that he is like upsetting her almost, because it's not who she wanted him to be. That's a very interesting viewpoint. It's kind of selfish. Oh, Granny, get off your knees. Just hire a blokey to come around.
Will would occasionally send me a postcard from somewhere foreign on his travels.
Let's have blokey come around, take care of this for you. I mean, you have a nice flat. I'm sure you have the money for it. You haven't been on your knees like that since like the 40s. Come on. This is a lovely little garden, though.
He wasn't in travel journalism back then. Even though I was angry, I still worried about him.
There we go. Better go get that. Come on. Go get it.
I got up to answer it and tripped, twisting my ankle in the garden.
Uh-oh. Granny, no.
Hurt like the blazes.
Aw, Granny.
I couldn't do a thing. The doorbell went again, but it hurt too much to move. I called out for help. I heard footsteps around the side of the house.
Hope it's Will. Hope he, like, comes and gets her.
It was Will,
Yay!
coming to visit me. He'd come back from travelling.
Looks like he's about to, like, kneel on your head.
After all I had done, after all I hadn't done, he was the one reaching out to me. He was the one who made the effort.
Aw.
It'll be all right.
He looked after me anyway.
Whoa!
I saw the kind boy that I knew, inside the man he had become.
God damn, he's strong.
I don't claim that I'll ever fully be able to approve of some things.
Let's get you inside.
There better
I
be a
didn't
button
teach
there.
him to forgive, but thank goodness he learnt that by himself. I'd been
Aw.
so distracted by just one part of him. I didn't see that he was the best sort of man possible. Kind, strong, and loving. He was even kind to a fool like me.
Aw, Granny. I'm glad that you see the errors in your ways.
I'll never forget that.
Oh.